You want prep winter sports? You've got it here on the Sports Desk. West races for another league crown. Can they take Penn down? The Lady Knights are a little shorter in their lineup. Can they take down another Saint? The girls' final standings are here. Where are the Tartars and the Saxons on the menu? And the North Saxons boys team show they know how it is on the hardwood. Get fired up because it starts right now. Hello and welcome. I'm Bonnie Prickitt and this is the Sports Desk. CIF postseason is here and it's going to be a good one. Let's go ahead and go to the pitch first. This season, the West Warriors soccer team is trying to defend their Bay League championship. The only problem, Palos Verdes and Mira Costa are keeping tabs. With every win the Warriors have, the Palos Verdes team matches them, but going into this game against Peninsula, the team has bigger ambitions than just winning the Bay League title. You can't end a season without giving props to the seniors and their parents. West is graduating 9 of them, but before going out and graduating, they want to defend their Bay League championship. In order to defend their Bay League title, the Warriors must beat Peninsula, and crosstown rivals Palos Verdes must lose to Mira Costa. But that's not the only thing on the West Warriors' mind.
Because we have a big game next week. CIF, and that's what really matters.
Senior icon Cabuilo is simply remembering the sting of last year's first-round playoff loss. The Bay League's dominating team was dominated, and they simply don't want that to happen again this year. What are they going to have to do to remain focused?
We need to continue to trust in each other, play together, play for the team, not individually. I think we'll go pretty far.
But first, the Warriors had to conquer the Panthers. The first half was full of chances. Sophomore Steven Ingram does a good job of keeping this in bounds and passes it to the back door to Greg Day, who has a shot, and they didn't capitalize. They'd go into half 0-0. The Warriors come back from halftime energized and with a new sense of urgency. And for the rest of the play, we're going to let Steven Ingraham take you through it.
It came over from the left side. Our freshman, Steven Marcella, had a pretty good shot. The goalie made a save right off his hand. I was there at the back post, tapped it in. It was a hard-working goal, but it wasn't the nicest, but I got one.
And one is all they would need. West would go on to win 1-0 over Peninsula. They didn't get to the Bay League championships because PV beat Mira Costa 1-0, but they have their eyes on something bigger.
I hope we get to the finals. Like, if our team plays as hard as we can, I'm pretty sure that our team can.
The Warriors win over Peninsula capped a great senior night, and Steven Ingraham, not Ingram, he really got into the winning with the goal. Congratulations. Let's go ahead and look at the Bay League final standings. With that win over Mira Costa, the final game, PV beats West for the league title at 7-1-2, and West, their record is 7-3. Mira Costa is in third place with Redondo, Lusinger, and unlucky Peninsula rounding out the group. For the first round of the CIF playoffs, PV plays a wild card winner at home, and West will travel to Servite. Good luck to the Warriors. Let's now take a look at a few more scores and final standings. The last games that made an impact on the league standings, North capped a 2-0 win over Torrance. Saxon Jesus Perez and Johnny Gromis led the Saxons to a win over Gundo and Torrance. South had Lawndale to a tie, but tie is better than a loss to help them in league standings. Let's take a look. Congrats to the North Saxons for the 4th consecutive year holding the top spot in the Pioneer League. The Spartans were chomping at your heels, but you did an excellent job coming in second with a 6-1-3 league record. El Segundo's in third, Lawndale's in fourth, Centennial is in fifth, and the Tartars look to rebuild next year, as this year they were 1-7-2 in league. North is number 10 in the Division 4 poll, and they host La Mirada on the first round on Friday the 18th. The Bishop Montgomery Knights are 5-3 in the Delray League, and they go in the first round against South. They will be playing at South's home. Should be interesting. Now let's go and take a quick look at a couple of girls' scores and the final league standings. So the Lady Tartars win convincingly against the Lady Saxons, 8-2. Too many girls to give credit to name. Just like in the Lady Spartans game against the Eagles, 5-0 victory. But showing these scores will just show you how dominant the Pioneer League play is and how good the top two teams are. Drum roll, please. The Tartars are the Pioneer League champions for the first time since 1994. Congratulations, Jim Millender. You've done a great job, and the girls even better. The South Spartans, though, they came in second with an 8-2 record. El Segundo, another above-average team with 7 wins. North is in 4th place with Lawndale, Centennial falling behind the rest. Torrance and South are both at home for their first round of the playoffs. Good luck, ladies. Let's take a look at the Bay League final standings. Palos Verdes stands atop the Bay League. Peninsula is in second. Costa is in third, and then Redondo and our beloved Warriors, who came in at 4-5-1. Coming up after the break, the Sports Desk brings one of the best buzzer beaters of the year. Stick around. What are you doing, dear?
My finances. Every week I divide my allowance. Some to spend, some to charity. But the first thing I do is set aside 10% to save for my future.
That's awfully grown up. Did you learn that in school?
No, Dad taught me. He said if you want something tomorrow, you have to save today. Dad's saving for retirement. I'm saving for a new bike.
Choose to save. To learn how to get started, get your free Power to Choose brochure.
He's a smart man, your father.
I'm a big believer in the power of we. We can tackle the tough challenges we face and build community through service and volunteering. It's time for you to raise your hand. Go to serve.gov and get involved in something you believe in.
How will you raise your hand when they call your name?
Are you with me?
We weren't born to follow.
Hi, I'm Jerry West, and you're watching the Sports Desk.
Welcome back. Before this winter season started, the North Saxon boys basketball team knew they had raw talent and athleticism. Coach Dupron thought they might hold the top spot in the Pioneer League, but what you're about to see, you simply cannot coach. Nicole Flannery brings us the game against El Segundo. Sit back and enjoy.
With a 7-1 record in the Pioneer League, the North Saxons look to take on the El Segundo Eagles for a highly anticipated rematch of the 2011 season. And to top it off, it's senior night where some of North's star players are ending their last season. And one of those star players right here, Darren Hechanova, his last regular season home game at North High, and he's going to get the first basket. Later in the first, and these teams match up pretty well. And El Segundo's going to get the rebound and score easy on the putback. And in the second quarter, the El Segundo Eagles kind of have one up on the Saxons here, and the pass to Devontae Jenkins, and he's going to just barely miss that jumper, but it's Elliot Morris in the paint, and not much you can do about defending that one. Still trailing by 7 in the second, and this is Eddie Lee, and he's going to take it in for the easy lay-in. North battling back here. Still down by 5, and this is Devontae Jenkins through the lane with the basket and the foul. El Segundo crowd looking a little concerned. And I guess maybe they should be with this late surge by North, and Jenkins will miss that foul shot, but Elliot Morris playing some D right here with the rebound and the basket. Time ticking away in the second quarter. Devontae Jenkins will make up for the missed foul shot and put the Saxons ahead by 1 going into the half. This crowd going crazy, 30-29 at the end of the second quarter. And late in the third, it's really a battle between the Eagles and the Saxons, and this should be no surprise considering their last game ended with the final shot. And here's Elliot Morris with another board, and he'll have 17 on the night, playing some good defense, and his teammate Darren Hechanova right here is going to make the layup, but you see him hopping over there on the sidelines, and he'll go down. And just really the last thing you want to see, folks, is this senior leader on the ground. He's going to get some ice on his cap and go sit on the bench indefinitely. And the Saxons would be down by 12 late in the fourth, and they would have to start battling back again, much like they did at the end of the first half. And here's a nice pass right here, and a pretty jumper, but they're still down by 10. Less than a minute to go, the lead reduced by 2, and look who's back on the court. It's Darren Hechanova. Under 20 to go and down by 3, and El Segundo is going to hit a clutch three-pointer, and this game's going to go into overtime. Down by 1 in the first OT and showcasing the importance of fundamental basketball with the crucial 2 free throws right here and send this game into 2 OTs. And a father and son coaching team right here, and I don't know if Luke ever saw anything quite like this in his tenure played in North. And El Segundo's up in the final seconds of the second OT, and he's going to make the inbounds pass right here. But watch number 23, and he's going to dribble the ball out of bounds, and he's going to give North another crack at it. Second overtime, clock winding down, and Darren Hechanova in the lane, easy basket, and this game's going into 3 OTs. Are you kidding me? Third OT tied at 82. Less than 20 seconds left. The spin move and the basket by El Segundo. Their crowd going crazy, but not quite yet, folks. And I wish I could slow-mo this for you. Darren Hechanova at the buzzer, and he hits the three-pointer. And North will win the game. And I really don't know if Hollywood could write a better movie script. Rematch between the Saxons and the Eagles was one of high intensity, high scoring, and high expectations. And after 3 overtimes, Darren Hechanova hits a game-winning three-pointer to seal not only the game, but the league championship for the Saxons.
I saw time on the clock, I saw 5 seconds, so I figured, there's enough time to get a shot off. I thank God, I believe in it.
We knew we'd have a good team, and I guess you just don't realize, we have so many young kids out there, and you see it at times. But, Darren and Ellie just keep fighting and pushing on. And, now the last few games, they've been the leaders and making sure that we get it taken care of. And, they've just stepped up and been great. They've just done a super job.
Nicole, thanks for breaking that exciting game down for us. North wins in triple overtime with Hechanova's three-pointer, and he wouldn't have had that chance if Devontae Jenkins and Eddie Lee hadn't come in strong. Elliot Morris is like the Energizer Bunny with 16 points and 17 boards for the Saxons. The Lady Knights basketball team have had their challenges this season, whether it be injuries to their top players or dramatic losses that they have to overlook. They are better for all in the drama of the game. In this game against St. Paul, this top-ranked team tries to pull it all together before the CIF playoffs. John Raby punches this one in.
Delray League girls basketball action on senior night. Bishop Montgomery hosting St. Paul. 3 seniors had tremendous efforts. 2 in the first half were dominant. Kristen Ale with the steal here, finding Chelsea Aaron for the layup. Those 2 would have a whale of a game. Ale finished with 9 points, 9 assists. Aaron had 14 points and 13 rebounds. Ale finds the range here. She's headed to San Luis Obispo and Cal Poly in the fall. Taylor Sansbury with a dime, and Ale finds the range again. And the Knights were cruising. Good work down to the post here, off the missed shot. Chelsea Aaron the put back. 24-14 their lead at half. The Knights opened up an 11-2 lead to begin, and they've held serve so far through to halftime. They own a 7-point lead, despite a fine individual effort from St. Paul. And that individual effort came from Jackie Huerta. On a rough night for the swordsman, she was a spark, spearheading the attack on offense, inside and outside. She was a glimmer of hope. But the Knights had too much. Sansbury opened a can in the third, and the Knights outscored them 24-4 in the period. Little defense here, and in transition, Sansbury unstoppable yet again. The Knights had a large working margin headed into the fourth quarter, and they ultimately won 56-29. They moved to 19-9 on the year, 5-3 in the Delray League.
Felt really good, getting not only scoring but getting my teammates to score. So it felt really good to have a win like this on my senior night.
Right energy was in the gym, and it was senior night, and everyone wanted to play well for the seniors and for ourselves, and we just started off the game strong, and our shots were going in. So
I think we worked hard this week. We knew what we had to do. We played them before, and so we just knew that it was our senior night, so we knew we had to really come out hard and play and just put them away fast.
In the first half, Chelsea and Kristen did a great job of putting some points up for us, and in the second half, Taylor came out and had at least 11 in the third quarter. So when we spread out our scoring, we're really hard to stop, and so that really was our strength today.
The Bishop Montgomery Knights put on a basketball clinic here at home, and in doing so put smiles on the faces of their fans, their seniors, and their head coach. A final home Del Rey League victory, and they have a head full of steam as they look towards the playoffs. For the Sports Desk, this is John Ramey.
Thanks, John, for getting that one into the Sports Desk. Lady Knight surely got a little bit of confidence back with this win. Chelsea Aaron, I crown you with the title Miss Double-Double. And Ariana Sampson brought 12 points and 7 rebounds to the game, and we expect nothing less than this greatness from Sainsbury and Ale. Devon Brookshire is looking to be back in play for the postseason. But what about after the break? You don't want to miss the breakdown of the girls' postseason on the hardwood.
Hi, I'm Emmitt Smith. Sports has given me a lot to smile about over the years. But as an athlete and a father of young athletes, I know how important it is to protect yourself from injury. That's why I've teamed up with the American Association of Orthodontists to encourage athletes to play it safe. I've seen firsthand how quickly an accident can happen when out on the field, the court, or even the dance floor. Wearing protective gear like mouth guards, face masks, and helmets can reduce the risk of injury and keep you in the game. Help kids play it safe.
When lending a helping hand to those struck by disaster, we often send help in the form of goods. But did you know how much money goes to the shipping and storage costs for just one of these? It could have been used to provide necessities such as clothing and shelter for so many more people in need of our help and love. The love helps. Send helpful love. Cash is best. For more information, visit www.cidi.org.
Welcome back. I would like to introduce Sports Desk reporter Ghazal Hassan into the studio.
Thanks,
How are
Bonnie.
you?
Doing well.
You have been out and about since last fall covering everything, football, basketball, volleyball. How's it been?
It's been tremendous. A lot of great athletes in the area, a lot of great schools in the city of Torrance.
That's right, and we're going to talk about basketball specifically now. We're going to actually look at some games prior to the postseason. We'll break down some girls' postseason outlooks later on. But you were at some very good games, and we'll start with the boys' basketball. Why don't you go and tell us about it?
Thanks, Bonnie. Round ball double dip at Torrance High School. It was the Saxons and the Tartars doing their version of guys and dolls. Girls' game followed up by a boys' game. Let's take a look at what the fellas had going.
We go to Torrance High School as the Tartars host the league finale against the Saxons of North. It is senior day, so the senior cheerleaders being recognized along with all the senior basketball players. That's Jay Watanabe walking with his parents as we see the rest of the Tartar seniors before their game against North. First quarter, North up by 5. Eddie Lee from the left wing. He'll put up the 3 ball. Steps in, and bingo, North now up by 8. Tartars hang in there. Brandon Gardner the other way uses the window. Gardner drops it down for the Tartars, who stay close. Good execution of fundamentals here. Darren Hechanova, no look pass underneath JT Heath with a reverse layup. Now Hechanova with the steal, length of the floor for North. He'll dime it to Elliot Morris, who lays it up and in. Saxon's up 36-22 at the half. When the jazz hands aren't working, you know you might be in trouble. Second half, though, here's Brandon Gardner. Jamais dans ma maison. That's what he tells Eddie Lee with that rejection. Tartars hanging tough. Watch Jay Watanabe here. Nice dish. And the Tartars cut the lead down to 8. Back the other way, though, left of center, Taryn Hart with the tray. The junior puts them back up by 11. Watanabe fighting and putting it up, and the Tartars, again, cut the deficit down to 6. Fourth quarter, though, the turnovers get the best of the Tartars. Here's Hechanova leading the way. He'll lay it up and in. Lead back to double digits for North. Here's Hechanova again. This time he's got Eddie Lee in front of him. He'll dish. Lee will lay it up and in. North on their way to a win. Hechanova again, the rejection. Eddie Lee leads it ahead, and he'll put the exclamation point on the win for the Saxons. 70-54 is the final. We talked to Darren after the game.
Tuesday we clinched it, but we wanted to come out here acting like it was another championship game. You know, Tuesday, that's in the past, you can't do anything about it, but we didn't want to end off in a bad note, so we came out here, you know, ready to play, playing like it's another championship game, like, you know, playing for league champs. You know, we wanted to come out here and show a statement.
Before the game, you know, we said that Tuesday night was not the end of the season. The end of the season for regular league was tonight. So our seniors kind of got up and each told how important this was to them. And, you know, they really wanted to win tonight and finish the right way.
Both the Saxons and the Tartars will get one last chance to close things out in the right way, that in the CIF playoffs.
North boys take the nightcap. Nice day at the office for Darren Hechanova. 22 points to go with his 7 assists and 8 steals. Junior guard Eddie Lee kept the Tartar D honest with some outside shooting for his 12. And Brett Akahiji made sure senior day wasn't a total loss for the Tartars, contributing 11 points. North wins the Pioneer League, but Torrance also plays on in the boys' CIF Division III AA bracket as they secure an at-large bid.
That's right. What we've seen, North is on fire. It's amazing the play that they have been able to pull out, considering preseason, I think only they were the ones who thought that they would be this good.
They're playing really well, and they're playing like a team that's going to play for a little while, Bonnie.
That's right. Let's go ahead and take a look at the actual breakdown of the Pioneer Final League standings. You see, North there is won the last 6 games in a row. They, of course, as you already said, are league champion. El Segundo came in second after losing to North, and
that was a big buzzer beater by Darren Hechanova on Tuesday. Puts the team on his back on Thursday, so a good week for Darren.
Fantastic. Torrance played Centennial in the tiebreaker game and lost. Of course, they still made the CIF playoffs. And South finished with 5 straight losses. Lawndale rounds out the bottom of the list at 3-7. Go and take a look at the Bay League. Peninsula won the Bay League, undefeated all season long. Redondo and Lusinger are 6-4 in league for the 2nd and 3rd places. Now West got 4th, but they are in the playoffs, and I saw them nearly beat Peninsula in the last game of the season. Fantastic. And even though they lost their last 4 games, but they, of course, as you noted earlier, they have a non-conference win with both North and Torrance, which should be a good step into the postseason. Why don't you take us to the prep final breakdown for the Delray League?
Delray League, Bishop Montgomery up top. They'll be 8-0 because of Sarah having to forfeit their games because of the use of an ineligible player. That's kind of unfortunate, Bonnie. The player in question wasn't like he was one of the top guys. He was kind of a complimentary player, and it's unfortunate that an administrative snafu has hurt Sarah's playoff chances. But good for Bishop Montgomery. They move on to the playoffs, and they get a 6th seed. That's
right. They get a 6th seed, and they actually will be going and hosting Tustin, who I believe is the Empire Division's at-large team. And as we spoke earlier, North is on fire. They are hosting La Mirada at home. What about South and Torrance?
South and Torrance both go on the road, so it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully they can both each get a couple wins before the year's out.
Hey, you never know. You know, people catch fire just like North has. They might end up meeting one another further on down. You saw some really interesting games this season. In particular, the next game we're going to be talking about really affected league standings. And have you ever had one of those really bad days where just nothing goes right?
Certainly. It's inevitable, Bonnie. Thank you. It's inevitable, and Rick Momahara, the head coach at Torrance, knows this well. He had a week where all his players got ill with the flu, and he couldn't even run a full practice. But they had to go ahead and meet the North Saxons in a game that would decide the Pioneer League title at Torrance. They're at home. It's senior day. Let's see what happened.
Girls basketball Pioneer League finale as Torrance hosts North, and we are definitely in Tartar country. Senior day, Tartars honor Jana Tomita, Britt Kwan, and Lindsay Rubinski as they take on North for the league crown. First quarter, Kara Shimasaki with the 3-ball, and it's 7-2 Saxons. A couple of minutes later, watch Kristen Gecko in the lane, the runner. That makes it 11-4. Stretch for the Saxons. Driving lane here. Look at that kiss off the glass by Christy Nambu. 13-4. We go a little bit further into the second quarter. Here's Nambu again laying it up and in. And the route is on. 17-4 Saxons. Second quarter. Stepping out, Jocelyn Barnes. She'll hit the corner J. 21-4. And Rick Momahara needs to call a timeout and talk it over with his troops. They were 8-1 coming in front of the 7-2 Saxons. From the second quarter into the second half, the Saxons used their stifling D to corral Torrance, and create scoring chances of their own. We discussed this with Saxon head coach Tina Gross.
We knew that our defense was going to create offense, and we knew that each and every play was important. And so we know it's also a game of runs. And so when we felt a run and went through our defensive stops, and the offense started to score from it.
The Tartars were down 26-13 at the half and looked to muster a rally in the second half, but having battled illnesses all week which affected practice, they can only manage 4 field goals in the second half against the stifling Saxon defense that stepped up to the challenge and took the season finale from the Tartars 44-23, enabling a 3-way tie atop the Pioneer League. After the game, we chatted with a couple of the senior captains for North.
We fixed what we did wrong last time, and our defense stepped up a lot, and we just came out and wanted it. So
we definitely played a stronger man-to-man, and we just played better as a team. We talked more, and it really helped. I think it was mostly intensity. We really had been working on it, and we knew that if we want to stop them, we'd have to probably stop their shooting. So we worked on that.
The Tartars and their head coach Rick Momahara are headed for the playoffs, but they'll have to regroup.
North just outplayed us today, and they took us out of our rhythm also.
An exciting wrap-up to the Pioneer League season in girls basketball. First place on the line, Torrance against North. It was the Saxons that came away with a 43-23 win, making it a 3-way tie atop the Pioneer League. Torrance, Centennial, and North all at 8-2. A coin flip will determine playoff seeding. Reporting for the Sports Desk, Ghazal Hassan.
North notches the win and shares the Pioneer League crown with Centennial and Torrance, which drops its second straight game. Jocelyn Barnes messed around, got a double-double, and she threw in 3 rejections for good measure. No Tartar player had more than 5 points, as the Saxons held Torrance to 1 field goal in their last 15 attempts in the fourth quarter as they closed out the win.
And there's definitely a lot happening in the girls' prep basketball scene, Ghazal. And great to have you 2 places at once. Blue shirt there, dark blue shirt here, and this suit. You've seen a lot of really good basketball. So what do you think about the upcoming prep postseason?
What's great about this is that all 5 Torrance area teams are in the postseason. They'll have an opportunity. Obviously, we'll look at some of the previews later. Some teams may seem to have a better chance than others, but you know, Bonnie, it's tournament time. Anything can happen.
That's right. People get excited. They get on runs, and hopefully we'll have some more exciting things to talk to you about in weeks to come, and we'll have state championships and all that good stuff. Why don't you go ahead and break down what you think each of the 5 girls teams will do in the postseason?
Absolutely, Bonnie. Let's start with the Lady Knights of Bishop Montgomery. They're led by Devin Brookshire and her 15.1 points and 8.2 rebounds a game. But it's going to come down to the supporting cast, Bonnie. Ariana Sampson, Lauren Martin, Taylor Stansberry, and Kristen Awe are all compliments to Brookshire. Coach Bryn Britton is back behind the bench for the Lady Knights. They're a number 2 seed. They get a bye into the second round. They'll start off playing the winner of 15th seeded St. Lucy's and at-large La Cañada. Solid year thus far for the Lady Knights of Bishop Montgomery. Last year they went all the way to the sectional semifinals and to the semifinals in the state as well, losing both times to Harvard Westlake. We're moving on now. We're to the Torrance girls basketball squad. Junior Faith Matsuda is their long-distance gunner. They'll need to hit shots to shake their late-season doldrums. The post play of sophomore Ihana Iono and freshman Jessica Fujitsuba will be vital to prevent teams from digging in against the Tartars. Britt Kwan, Jana Tomita, I don't want to forget Kristen Mejia as well. They are Pioneer League tri-champs. People lose that on the fact they've lost their last 2 games. So Coach Rick Momahara's Lady Tartars, a 9 seed in the Southern Section 3 AA bracket. They'll draw at-large Rowland in the first round, setting up a potential second-round matchup against West. We'll talk about that later. North Torrance, Coach Tina Gross and her Saxons closed the season strong to tie for the Pioneer League title with Centennial and Torrance. As I mentioned earlier, their reward, a number 10 seed in a first-round matchup against Norwalk in the girls' 3 AA bracket. Jocelyn Barnes does it all for North, but the key to their inside-outside balance in the playoffs could be their point guard. Danielle Yamauchi, she's a senior. She needs to dictate tempo, push the ball up court, off misses and turnovers, forced by the stifling Saxons defense. Brittany Suminaga and Christy Nambu, they'll provide senior leadership for the Saxons, who seem to be peaking at the right time to make a deep playoff run. Moving on, the West Torrance girls basketball team, the Warriors coming out to play. They have an 8 seed out of their third-place Bay League finish. Erin O'Malley provides balance up front for them. Obviously, seniors Kelsey Ishigo and Caitlin Kung make them go. Don't forget about Nicole Nataki either. She'll play well for the Warriors. First up for them in the 3AA bracket is Garden Grove Santiago. If they can protect home court, possibly they could be up against the Tartars. Bad news for the South Spartans' leading scorer, Jean Dulé, as they lost their last 5 games. The good news is they get to play on, and this is important for Coach Tom Chandler's team, all pretty much juniors. There's one senior on the team. The experience will be valuable to them as they move forward, if they're able to move forward in the playoffs.
So basically what we're looking at is South's going to really have to keep it going on defense in particular. Who's your favorite to go the farthest?
I think North probably has the best squad, but you never know. Depends how the teams play. Matchups are so important at this time of year, Bonnie.
But Torrance has everyone healthy and happy and ready to play. I mean, don't you think that they have a better chance?
Absolutely. Rick Momahara does a great job, and his team, if they're healthy and they're not suffering from illness, they should do okay as well.
And so let's see. Bishop Montgomery. That's a definite team that we thought was going to win state, but they had some injuries this season, and what I'm looking at is probably everyone being back and ready in the lineup. I think that they will have a chance to go the furthest. But thanks for breaking that down. Now is the time for you to tell us something that we don't. Give us a call at the Sports Desk. You can email us at thesportsdesk@torranceca.gov. View all of our shows online at torranceca.gov. And, of course, all of the 2010 shows are on YouTube, and they're updating all the shows on YouTube for 2011 as well. Thanks so much for joining us. And Ghazal, thanks so much for coming in and for your breakdown. Fantastic.
Quite welcome. Thanks for having me.
So until next time, Torrance, have a good time.